Good evening, everyone. It's your worst nightmare and dream come true. I'm Adrian Hallowell, broadcasting live to you, and I apologize for being so late. Everything was kind of a little bit last minute, and I had some unforeseen technical difficulties. You already know how it is. Last minute scuff. It is what it is. But how are all of you doing today? Let me catch up on the chat. I didn't get a chance to really peek in the way I normally do. I was trying to fix my model, which was outright losing its damn mind. Thank you, Elandria, for the first. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well this evening. It's great to see you. And I love watching you having no ammo. I'll bet you do. Who needs ammo? I wish I had hand tracking so I could raise my hand. Me, I need ammo. Have you seen ammo prices these days? Welcome in, Bolgay. Welcome in, Sally. Welcome in, Elandria. Let's see. Apparently tungsten prices are on the rise. Thank you for the hydrate and the stretch. Let me take a sip real quick. And I will hit the stretch. Okay. I actually just did a piece of tungsten. Muller, would anyone like to know how much I gotta charge the man for it? Autocorrect hates me anyways. Gotta charge this man a good $1,100 for it. Wow. Yeah, not cheap anymore. I gotta go back to steel, I don't want to. The bad cough today. Life is pain as usual. I hope yours is better. Not much better, but, you know, it is what it is. But I'm not happy to hear that you have a cough. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you feel a little bit better soon. But yes, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Let's see. God, what was I gonna say? I had something I was gonna say to you all, but all the last minute throwing everything together kind of made me lose my train of thought, but you know, if it's important, it'll come back to me. But yes, let's go ahead and get this started. We're gonna start with our pre-stream tarot card pull. And today's card is the Queen of Pentacles. And this is a very nice card. Kind of gives me a really warm feeling every single time that I pull it, and that's for good reason. So the Queen of Pentacles usually represents a very motherly sort of feeling, right? It's very much a card that represents a calming domestic nature. It's about creating a loving, comfortable environment for yourself and the people that you care about. This can be literally or it can be figuratively. It is about providing a sense of stability and calm for the people that you care about and yourself. This is, as a Pentacles card, this is most usually represented through finances, right? You're doing well financially, or you are working to achieve a sense of stability in your financial sense, to be able to take care of yourself and others, and to create a sense of calm and reliability. But it also could refer to the amount of love that you are giving. You make people feel welcome. You nurture people as a mother would. This could be to literal children. This could be to your family. You know, this could be to pretty much anybody, yourself included, right? It is the ultimate, how should I say? The ultimate domestic card, I think, is pretty much a fair way to put it. It's about creating an environment that is healthy, balanced, and makes others and yourself feel a sense of comfort that only home usually provides. That makes sense, right? This card isn't just about only taking care of other people, though. You have to love yourself and you have to take care of yourself to be able to care for others. And, you know, this card places an emphasis upon individuality and independence, meaning take care of yourself and you'll be able to take care of other people, right? Don't neglect the things that you need to do. Do whatever it takes to become reliable for you, and then you'll be able to be reliable for others, right? Like I said before, this is very much a card embodying a sort of motherliness, regardless of whether, you know, you are a parent or not. That sort of comfort and reliability that a mother represents exists in all of us, for both ourselves and our loved ones. And you can provide that, right? This can also be a actual figure in your life, or it could even be just an aspect of yourself that you're recognizing. So, a lot of little bit of variety in context here, but I think you get the picture. So hopefully that that resonates with you guys. Welcome in, Sushi. It's great to see you. I had a ton of fun during our collab yesterday. I was still laughing looking at that clip. I clipped it actually, and I made it into a YouTube short. I was dying of laughter rewatching it. That was one of the funniest moments I think I've ever had on stream. I dropped a video on the gaming channel about taking down T-Rexes. Oh god, I have to take a look at that. I wouldn't mind a card that prompts me to stay in bed petting my cats. Yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good card for that sort of thing. I think that's fair to say. Yes, everybody, if you didn't check out the collab between me and Sushi and Chu and a few others, because we cycled in different fourth members, I would definitely recommend going to my my channel page here or to my YouTube channel and checking out the short that I made. Definitely I would prefer if you went to the YouTube channel, because I made an extended cut into a short of a particular moment from the stream that was hilarious. I was there, yes. Yes, thank you for being there, Purple. I really appreciate it, and I hope you found that moment as funny as I did. I'm glad you thought it was entertaining. It was great hearing you laugh that hard. It was one of the funniest moments I have ever had on stream. I could not stop myself from laughing. To be honest, I was still laughing even after it sounded like I stopped. I just moved away from the microphone so that way it wouldn't pick it up. And then I just tried to stay quiet until the end of the game. Because I physically could not stop myself from laughing, and I wasn't even joking when I said that my ribs were hurting. That was quite a moment. And quite a slip of the tongue. But yes, let's go ahead and get into the game. I think I've yapped enough. Alright, here we are. This always happens to me, I just word vomit. I understand what you mean. I think it happens to us all. That was just a particular moment of hilarity. Let's see how the load function works here. I'm curious if it actually puts me where I was. I have all my items from last time. Yes, I do. Okay. Alright, good. Now where the hell do I go? Okay, map. I don't even remember. Let's take a look at our items. Get 2 plugs to open emergency boxes. That's not important. ID card. Certifies the access type of kernel. Okay, so that's obviously something we're gonna need for, Actually, you know what? I think I remember what we need to do. Hey! Welcome in, Azathon? I hope I pronounced that correctly. I hope I pronounced that correctly. See, Sushi? It happens to me too. That's what I get for laughing. But yes, welcome in. Thank you. I think you're actually the first person I've had, drop me a comment on my, YouTube stream. So I appreciate that. Hopefully you, you enjoy the show. I am dual streaming over on, Twitch and YouTube, so if you see me talking to people, you should be able to actually see it on the screen in the, right-hand side. So yeah. This happened when I was collabing with New Type Phil as well in Overwatch. I was trying to thank people for their channel points to Sushi Plays Souls Game Challenge, and ended up saying thank you for your... Oh my god, instead of thank you for your contribution. You take that, yeah. Hello from Twitch, YouTube friend. Yes, hello from all of us to you. Alright. So, I think where I need to go is I need to, get that ID card changed over, but I don't remember what room had the machine. So that's what we're going to be looking for. We also have the key card and the input disc for L. So I think I might be able to enter that door in the main hall as well. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. Hey, welcome in, Naka. Welcome, welcome. I am playing Dino Crisis today. And we are trying to figure out which way to go. Thank you for the head pats. Also, the adorable, the adorable emote. That's so cute. I will infiltrate the Twitch. Come on over. The water's fine over here. Thank you for dropping by, no matter how you choose to watch. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Will it work? Let us see. Says it can't be used here, but here on Twitch you can hydrate Adrian all you want. Hey, there you are. Thank you for the follow. That was fast. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Oh, okay, wait. It wanted the card for... Yeah, I thought it was L. Nope. N. Alrighty. So now we gotta try to find the machine to switch over the ID card. So bear with me, everybody. I gotta remember where everything is, because the map in this game does not, annotate the rooms. So you just have to, you just gotta try to remember everything. Hi, Emerald. Welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. What room could it be? I think I killed the dinosaur in here, but let me double check. Oh my god. Well, that answers that question. Thank you for the head pat, Sushi. Ah, goodness. Alright, I know over there is not the way, right? And there was no machine in that room, so let's go ahead and come back out this way. Bolgay, thank you for the gift sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, welcome to the cursed ones. Now you've escaped the tyranny of commercials for 1 month. Always a good thing. And hey, if you don't mind my asking, how'd you come across my stream on YouTube? Was it just recommended to you and stuff? Because I have no idea how the algorithm is treating me over there. Some of my videos and streams have done weirdly well, and then others have just completely, like, hit a wall, and I cannot figure out why or how that algorithm works. So I'm always just curious to see how people find out about me. Alright, this way is going to take me back outside. So I don't want to go there, but I'm going to try this middle door here. So I got run out of town here. Thank you, you got my recommendations a few days ago. It was a Dino Crisis stream. Oh wow, really? That is crazy. I actually didn't think that my videos were being recommended at all. I kind of figured I was still too small of a YouTuber for the algorithm to do that. That's crazy. The change of personnel documents for this individual have not been turned in yet. Paul Baker, pager number 1123. Researcher personnel changes. Old section, special aircraft experiment room. New section, third entry, stabilizer experiment room. Registration number 58104. Interesting. You also got recommended to one of my friends because I sent him one of your streams once. Really? Holy cow, I didn't even realize that. You're growing slowly, very slowly, but I guess surely. I watch a few smaller indie VTubers, so maybe that's why, but the way YouTube works is a mystery. Yeah, that could definitely be the case. But that's crazy, because I kind of figured even for people who watch indie VTubers, I would still be too small. Because I haven't even cracked 100 followers on either Twitch or YouTube yet. So, I kind of figured for people like me, we just don't get recommended, period. So it's actually pretty cool to hear. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Still trying to figure out how all this works. I actually started streaming back in October of last year. So I'm still a pretty relatively new VTuber. So yeah, still learning the ropes and whatnot. And I really appreciate the details. Alright, let's see. Registration number 58104, name Paul Baker. See, now I'm kind of worried because this game does not let you... Here's the machine, okay. Need an ID card. Yes, I do have that. Alright, it's the one that's on the wall. Let me go actually memorize that now. Wasn't sure where we needed that. The algo is hard to figure out for sure. Yeah, definitely. I did a Wario World stream, and that game is kind of, I'd say it's kind of niche, right? I don't really see anybody talking about Wario World. That's the one Wario game they did on the GameCube. And the stream got 110 views over on YouTube, which is pretty crazy. And none of my other streams have gotten close to that. So it's very, very weird to me because that game I kind of figured would be one of the you know, lesser known ones compared to some of the other games I've played. And nothing has come close, so it's really weird. I don't know how it all works. Registration is 58104. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. 58104. There we go. You don't have any data to enter. Oh my god, now I need fingerprint data? Where am I gonna find that? I think more niche/retro games can get more people since a lot of people aren't streaming it, maybe. Could be hit or miss though, yeah. I definitely say you're right though, considering Yeah, this is how you found me, because I don't think a lot of people are playing Dino Crisis in general, let alone most VTubers, so... I guess it actually does help to, play some of these older games. 3 years have passed since the tragic disaster. The performance of the newest stabilizer will be tested in tonight's experiment. 3 years ago, the Third Energy destroyed the facility and killed just as many as 150 personnel. Just from a single overflowing accident. So to prevent a similar disaster from happening, we will take every possible precaution to reinforce our security. One more thing. We recently had a case in which someone used the terminal in this room and forged a fake ID to gain unauthorized access. Today, we are going to have a meeting in the strategy room on how to cope with the problem. In any case, all personnel should protect the security of the terminal. Anyone leaving this room unattended should lock the door without fail. Well, that doesn't help me to figure out where I'm going to find the fingerprint data. This telephone extension covers the whole facility. Okay, we can page the researcher, right? So we need the number right here. 1123. No one is answering. If you set the line to hold, the phone will continue paging automatically. Will you replace the receiver after setting the line to hold? Yes? Alright, what do we do now? Ah, of course. I really do not have the ammo to deal with these guys. Oh my god. I like this game, but the menus are so complicated compared to the Resident Evil games. So many like little sub-menus to go through. Compared to what you would expect. Okay, I'm not gonna ask how that happened. I'm not gonna ask how that happened. Alright, let's go in here and see if this takes us anywhere close to where we want to be. Alright, we came in here before, right? Yeah, this is where we picked up the key. I don't think that there's any... This is not going to get us any closer to that fingerprint ID. Verification we need. Yeah, I told you this game is very hard on the ammunition. I think you've played enough to see I wasn't lying. Yeah. No, you were spot on. This game is, very stingy with ammo. Which would be fine if the movement was more intuitive. But it's wild to me that this came out the same year as RE3. And yet it definitely feels a lot rougher than that game. And I can't believe that. Please move. Oh my god. Pick it up, please, Regina. I'm begging you. Yeah, I laughed when you said the input lag could be from the capture card. Yeah, I was so naive and young to not realize that this game was just built like that. I mean, I honestly do not know what to do right now. No idea where I'm gonna find this guy's fingerprint. And none of these rooms. Absolutely none of these rooms are, labeled, which really sucks. If anyone knows what to do, I am not opposed to a little bit of backseating here. I'm back as yet, perpetually so. I might as well be. I have a handful of pistol bullets, which the pistol is a pea shooter that does nothing to any of the dinosaurs here. And, he's just shocking himself. And the shotgun, you would think would be more powerful, but doesn't do... What the hell is going on here? Oh my god. That is incredibly annoying. Oh, that is incredibly annoying. I can look on the guide if you want. It's been so long I don't remember. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind. I mean, you know me, I'm trying to get through the game without any hints or anything like that, but this is... I don't want to be running in circles all stream. I feel like things might get better once I get through this initial segment here, but... What's the last thing you remember doing? I wasn't here to watch the previous streams end, I think. Right now I'm at the part where I'm trying to switch over the ID card, but they're saying that I need fingerprint data to do it, and then there's some kind of puzzle with the office phone there, so I put it on hold. That's what I'm doing right now. Besides bleeding everywhere. You have the fingertip printer device? No, I do not. I wish you could see the smile on my face right now. My, let me see something. I wonder if I can do it. You see that smirk? Can you tell that I'm happy right now? Oh boy. And for a more action-focused game, there's a distinct lack of pew-pewing. Yeah, so the first Dino Crisis is a little bit more action-oriented than Resident Evil, but it was trying to be kind of scary. Dino Crisis 2 is the one where it's pretty much like a story mode for mercenaries, but with dinosaurs. You feel like how I felt in that RE2 randomizer? Yeah. Like 1,000-yard stare. Yeah. I'm, the FC device is in the strategy room. Alright, well let me try to find it, because unfortunately the map is, the map is great. The map is so informative, You can never get lost in this place. As long as you have the map. Because the map has a very helpful key at the side there. Right? It shows you save points. It shows you your destination, except when it doesn't. And it shows your position. So you can never be lost. And you'll be able to know what every single room is, and what its function is. It's great. So give me a minute to find the strategy room. Alright, we were just here and we know it's not this place, but I kind of needed a place to dip into. Because I think I'm just going to end up getting eaten. And I'm going to have to reload anyway. Yep. I do have one resuscitation device. So it's probably going to activate. Yeah. Alright. Let's try to get through the hallway without, In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I thought I could just put my gun away, but apparently it doesn't let you do that. Okay, so according to the sign on the wall there, it's not in this hallway. So let's get out of here. Go this way. A notice is posted. 10 a.m. Dr. Kirk's lecture. The future of the stabilizer. I really wish that they would have used, not fixed camera angles, I wish that they would have used pre-rendered backgrounds for this game. To be honest. I thought you were gonna turn around and leave. No, I had to think real hard about putting the lasers on, because if I would have pressed them, they would have just zapped me. So I just made a break for it instead. Strategy room is a facility first floor, okay. So I'm on the right floor. No, I will not be saving my progress. Control room. You know, let me see something. These boxes. You can store medical supplies in the emergency box. Need a plug to open it. So I'm confused. If I use the plug on this, I can put something in there? Or is there stuff there for me to retrieve? I guess this is kind of like a, like the item box, right? Except you have to use a disposable item in order to access it. It's like a chest, but it works with colors. Got it. Okay. So I don't need that right now. Damn, this game is harsh. You can access every chest as long as the chest is green. Okay. Alright, we went too far. We have to go back up. This is the basement. So it's not this hallway. Welcome in, Dandy. Welcome in. It would not be a Dandy appearance without a a call to exercise, which I will do in just a moment. And thank you for the 7-stream streak. I appreciate that. How are you doing today? Yeah, I'm gonna hit those push-ups in just a minute. Alright, this is the toilet. Right? We were here before. I had nothing clever to say with that streak. It's okay, I never have anything clever to say. So don't worry about it. And sushi with the sit-ups. Always the 1-2 punch, right? Sushi beat me to it. It's good to know you were lying in wait. I was gonna wait until he sat back down like someone else said. I have nothing to say to you, Elandria. Alright, let me do those real quick. Let me go ahead and fulfill these requests. Okay, I'm glad you understood what I was doing there. Check Discord, please. Okay. You're jumping the gun with those sit-ups. Let me check this. Oh my god, thank you for the annotated map. Jesus Christ. Aha, okay, I see where it is. Got it, got it. Okay. Alright, I will go there right after I do these. So, 1 second. Alright, I am back. I probably should just double it, honestly. Because every time you guys ask me to do that, I just end up doing 20 of each anyway. Alright, let me catch up on the other requests here. I gotta hydrate. Thank you. Stretch. And a posture check. I just wanted to join. You joined in a much kinder way, though. So thank you for that, Emerald. At this point, redeem everything. Thank you for the head pats, Naka. Good thing dinosaurs can't spawn in the bathroom and murder you. Honestly, they probably could. This community tearing itself apart over the exercise timing. Thank you again for the hydrate. And the head pats. Alright. So Sally was kind enough to share with me a annotated version of the map. So that actually helps, and it's not too much of a it's not too much of a hand, just helps me see better. Let's head through here. Alright, let me compare my map This one. So it should be... No, wait a minute. Okay, it's that one locked door. Yeah, it's the one that's right by the toilet. That's what I feared. Because that one is actually locked. So now we have a new conundrum. Where the hell do I find the key for that door? Alright, let me head out to the main area and try to get my bearings, because... Welcome back, Sally. Yeah, so new problem. I need the key with this symbol on it in order to get into that room. So... we got a new issue here. I can see how that would come across that way. Allow me to rephrase. There's no tearing the community apart because there's no anger, no frustration. Just playing up a bit of being... Playing up of being frustrated. Everything's fine, at least on my end. Yeah, no worries. I think everybody knows we're just having fun here. Which I do actually enjoy it, because it does help me get a little bit of extra exercise in. So I don't mind it. Survival games and random ass locked doors and keys, yes. Yes, it would not be a survival horror game without it. Where most of your time is spent just going through the maps endlessly. But now we're kind of back to square one. I need to find that, guess that phone that it's connected to. Let me take a look at the annotated map again. Think about where I've been. Did you open the safe in the management office? In the save room? No, because I didn't even know what the passcode was supposed to be. And I have no way of looking back at any notes. So I don't know how I'm supposed to open it. Think the key is there? Wonderful. So how do I open the, how do I open the safe? At least you're not in, I forget the game. At least you're not in the one game where you have to perform amateur brain surgery to open a locked door. I wonder which one you mean. Because, I know another horror game that I played that that basically had you having to figure out the most insane puzzles I think I've encountered in a game, besides White Day, was Tormented Souls, which is a wonderful game. But my god, they definitely did not skimp on the puzzles, which was incredibly refreshing. I think I only ended up needing help with one puzzle when I played that game, which is pretty surprising, because if I ever ended up playing that game on stream, you'd be surprised at how obtuse that game can be. I want to try it. I do recommend it, Emerald. It's a great game. It's really good. It can be a little bit, just a tiny bit janky, but not really all that bad. Not compared to this, I would say, in the control department. I get it, but sometimes text has trouble conveying tone that would be obvious when spoken, so it never hurts to spell it out. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I totally get it. I actually have a tendency to... I have a tendency to, add LOL to the end of my text sometimes, just because apparently some of my messages read as, I don't know, I guess, hostile when I'm not intending to be. But, I have heard that a few times. So I try to do that to make sure it's known that I'm not trying to be that way. I don't know, it's weird. I guess some texts can look that way. It's strange. Alright, there's nothing useful in that hall. Let's check in here one more time. Maybe the passcode is in here. Because otherwise I don't know how to open that safe. Okay, so there's the pager number. Registration number. Yeah, nothing about the passcode. I know the code, but I'm trying to look where do you get it. Yeah, that would be great, because I've looked in all of these rooms. File containing notices written to the staff. Yeah, we saw this before. No hint at the code. The only code that I found was for, was for the safe in the upstairs room, but I already took out what was in there much earlier in the game. Which we can go upstairs and take another look anyway, but I'm pretty sure that I cleaned all that out. Adrian does sound scary when not on voice, can confirm. Locker room in the first floor? Okay. I don't understand. Though I have been told apparently that I sound... Alright, is this the hall? Please move. Yeah. Okay, in here. Top left room of the map. Yeah, I think this is it. I've been told that I sound scary. Both just through talking to people with my voice and in person as well, so. Adrian also sounds scary, and a call as well can confirm. See, I don't understand that. I don't understand. Evil Within. Ah, okay. Yes, I love the Evil Within. I was actually kind of thinking about playing the Evil Within 2 on stream sometime. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I haven't replayed that game in a long time. We'll see. But I do really like that game. He sounds mad. I don't understand. Yes, I have been told multiple times that apparently I do sound intimidating in person and over calls. And I think I also, I seem to also have a resting bitch face, as they call it, I guess. Because I've been asked if I'm okay a lot, even when I'm fine. And people think I'm mad even when I'm not, so I don't know. Hello. Welcome in, Wilby. How you doing? I am currently lost playing Dino Crisis. Okay, so this is a locker room, right? Yeah. Blue book on the ground, maybe? That would be it. See, this is why I wish that this game had the pre-rendered backgrounds, because nothing pops in 3D in this game. I thought this was just part of the environment, because I've been running around trying to hit the all the pieces of paper and stuff on the ground. I know a fair few with that resting face as well, even myself. Yeah, I guess it's a curse. And it sucks because then you end up like having to like force a fake smile so people don't think you're mad. Coraline Willoughby. I told you you're thinking of YB. Pretty good. Just finished the stream, so I am just chilling before I do my scheduled stream. Oh, awesome. What were you streaming? I usually mask my RBF, but apparently do not as well as I think I do. Journal of the Guardsman. A page is dated today. Will you read it? Of course. For tonight's experiment, the Chief and Dr. Kirk will be having a meeting at the second floor lounge from 1 p.m. Those who are scheduled to guard should keep a preponderant eye on the area in front of the Chief's room and the surrounding vicinity. Before taking positions, be sure to resupply your ammunition in the custody room. The weapon storage in the custody room can be opened with the combination 0426. Also, we have received information that the spies have sneaked into the facility recently. If anything happens, you may have to enter the rooms of the Chief and the Professor in order to ensure their safety. You will find the disk that contains the information you will need to access their rooms on top of the locker. That's all for now. The only thing hinting that book on the floor is its color, and barely so, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like in the classic RE games, everything pops and stands out because of the pre-rendered backgrounds. And on top of that, like as graphics got better, like say in the remake of Resident Evil, they would make items glint or kind of shimmer a little bit to help them stand out. But this game doesn't even do that. The ammo is kind of cartoonish because they're just like big boxes that rotate on the floor. So that's easy to see. But apparently key items just blend in. 0426, thank you, Sally, for putting that there for me, because I will forget. I reinstalled Overwatch. When I saw the flying cat, ended up uninstalling yesterday. Wait, what happened there? It's the right choice. Don't get addicted like me. Marvel Rivals rears its ugly head. Yeah, I think Sushi plays Marvel Rivals as well. Overwatch, I have a problem. I play way too much. I don't think I've actually ever played Overwatch. I also installed Rivals. Alright, let's let him knock himself out real quick. Okay. He recovered fast, oh my god. I actually really loved Cat, but the game is incredibly sweaty right now. So after the cat nerfs, it was less fun. Yeah, Fortnite was sweaty yesterday too. We were actually talking about that. 4, 2, 6. There we go. Finally, we have the key. Thank you so much, Sally. I'm kind of mad at myself because I should have found that, but I don't know for the streamers in the chat if this ever happens to you, but do you ever find yourself when you are streaming a game making little mistakes that you know you wouldn't make if you weren't playing under the pretenses of knowing you're being watched? Because that happens to me. A lot, actually. Oh, 100%. Okay, thank goodness I'm not the only one. It's like the minute that you hit that go live button, all of a sudden, it's like head empty. Certain things that you wouldn't struggle with, all of a sudden it's like you lose like 50% of your skill. Like, the other day I was telling Sushi, to get ready for the collab stream, I was playing a lot of Fortnite just to get myself back into practice, and I was winning quite a few games. I think I won probably 4 or 5 games by myself, like I wasn't doing teams or anything. And every other game that I didn't win, I was consistently placing in the top 5. But yesterday, I was dogging it. It was not good. Welcome in, Chew. It's funny, you showed up right as we were talking about Fortnite. Yeah, that collab was so much fun yesterday. Chew was carrying, big time. They made it so everyone gets a heal reduction when in combat. Recently, and being a sup main is hell in Overwatch right now. Yes, I play much better off stream. Same here, Sushi. Pressured by the viewer? Yeah, that's true, Naka. But that's the thing, like, I would like to say, like, I don't ever feel like, I'm being pressured by any of you. It's like that pressure you put on yourself, I think. You know what I mean? Like, you know you're being watched, so you feel that you have to do better, so you start fucking up even when you wouldn't normally. I've seen, like, some artists talk about that, like they suddenly can't draw when someone's looking over their shoulder at what they're drawing, even if they're like, yeah, they can make things with no problem. I feel it's kind of like that. Yeah, my play quality, even when I have 0 viewers, yeah, it tanks. Yeah. I was missing all my shots yesterday, but you also did get us that 1 victory royale. So you were doing really good, Sushi. That's the only reason I play with Chew. You can't just take that, Chew. Farm crowns. I'm sorry, I might be too millennial to understand it, but what's sweaty gameplay? Like tryharding too much or something? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just when people are going at it unnecessarily hard. Pretty much. The real pain is knowing that even at 0 viewers, if anyone looks at the VOD, it's just me embarrassing myself. To be honest, I think me putting up a lot of my VODs is like pulling the pin from a grenade and tossing it, and then just hoping for the best. I don't even want to imagine what people think when they see my my shitty gameplay, checking out the VODs. It's the observation effect or something. It happened to me one stream right after one where things could not have gone smoother. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Dandy. It's such a weird thing. It's like you psych yourself out. And the thing is, like I said, you guys are great. You know, I sit down and I don't feel like I have to do well or anything like that. I think it's just a psychological thing that you put yourself in. You want to do well because you know people are watching and you want to make it fun to see. And so that makes you overthink a lot of stuff. And you start messing up when you ordinarily would not. I turn off my viewers count because then I get in my head. I technically couldn't do that even if I wanted to, because now that I dual stream, I have a little combined chat box that shows me the chat on both Twitch and YouTube. And then it has the little eye symbol, so it shows me how many people are watching, so I can't turn it off. It's weird for me because when I started, I did that because I saw everybody saying to turn it off. But it kind of bugs me if I don't know. Like, not even... It doesn't bother me to know, like, how many people are watching. I guess I just need to know if anybody is watching. I don't know. It's a strange, strange thing. I told you that's just... Oh my god. Thank you for the head pats, Naka. I remember I was streaming Shadow of War once and I actually had some silent viewers. Like, quite a few, and I absolutely got wrecked over and over by the same orc. Like, that wasn't me. Yeah, I've had that happen where, some of the times I've been playing... Jesus Christ. And I will be, doing well until I see I have a higher view count than normal. Then I start blowing it. And by the time that I recover, all the viewers are gone. And I can't imagine why. Which is actually kind of funny. If I'm being honest. Same. No, don't leave, I swear. I'm not an nincompoop. Okay, am I going the right way here? Alright, just entered in here. Let me check out the annotated map. I need to find the room beside the bathroom. Yeah, right where the toilet is. Nope, I went a little bit too far. We gotta go back through the hallway. Alright, back through here. Do we get video proof of the push-ups or sit-ups if we redeem the reward? No, you have to take my word for it, but I promise you that I am doing them. I use it. I put that whole, redeem there, not as a way for you all to torture me, even though I know some people do enjoy doing that. But it's just a good excuse for me to get in more exercise than I already do. So it's kind of it serves a dual purpose. So I do promise you, I am doing them. I'm not cheating the system, trust me. Alright, finally some progress. A lot of little things spinning around in here. Alright, we got the DDK disc. And ammo. No, it's a plug. See, that's another thing I don't like about this game. I hate that all the little unimportant items you pick up all have the same 3D model. So you can't tell if you're picking up ammunition or if it's just a stupid plug. You get your hopes up for nothing. Also, welcome in, Chili Dog. I hope you're having a good evening or morning wherever you may be. When an ID card is created, this device is used to input the identification data. Alright, that's what we needed. What's in this file here? Data file for an operation meeting. Will you read it? Yes. Reinforcement of ID management. Earlier in the week, there was a case in which someone used a terminal that rewrites the ID cards to gain unauthorized access. The person acquired the fingerprint data from the corpse of a staff member who had died in the accident. He forged the dead man's ID by using the fingerprint data and entered the laboratory area by way of elevator. The problem is that the fingerprint collecting device can acquire usable fingerprint data even from a corpse. Since we will be having an experiment today, there will be many outsiders visiting the facility. When creating the ID cards for the guests, keep a careful eye on the device. Video simulation of the worldwide weapon positioning plan. These appear to be images from the scouting satellite. It clearly shows a hostile area. Weapons is positioning. Alright, not gonna store that. I wonder what the limit is on how much I can carry, because I don't really see why those boxes are necessary otherwise. Computer screen indicates idle status. Let's check this computer. Thank you for the hydrate, Chili Dog. Okay, so now my question is, do you want to be backtracking like hell, testing every one of the 30 corpses you can find, or should I at least tell you the floor? Jesus Christ. You know what, Sally? I had just had the idea in my head that I was going to have to go and try some of these corpses. And I was already going to head to the one that's in the, through those double doors. So thank you for confirming my theory. But now, I will say, for the sake of my controller's battery life, because that's pretty much the unwritten rule here is this is kind of a stream where once my battery dies, stream ends. Right? So, yes, you could tell me the floor. I would appreciate that. And thank you for the second hydrate. This terminal keeps track of the soldiers who are positioned in the facility. These machines are controlling the various tactical simulation programs. It honestly kind of pays to just let them knock the freaking gun out of your hand, pick it up, and then not pick it back up. Or not equip it, rather, because then if they hit you, you don't have to worry about dropping it again. Which is why I wish you could just put the gun away like you can in Resident Evil, but... F1? Okay, so we should be in the right place. Now I just have to think of where I saw corpses. I know that dinosaur is tired of you. Yeah, and I'm tired of him. So, the feeling is mutual. Come on. Alright, well, if he doesn't care, then neither do I. Alright, I'm gonna try that one dead body that's outside this room. We're gonna hope for the best. He's chill like that. He wasn't so chill before. My god, get off of me. I hate the way the camera angle is here. Come on. What is he doing? Thank you. Alright, come on, Regina, get up. Alright, let's use one med pack, and then... cannot be used here. I hate these guys so much. Then he starts doing tricks instead of just running into the lasers. Alright, that's what I wanted. Except it's still not enough. Cannot be used here. Alright, this is gonna be annoying. Let's go find another corpse. You know, when I started this game, I was not expecting for it to be this way. I was legitimately just kind of expecting Resident Evil with dinosaurs, and to be fair, that's kind of what it is, but it is not at all, not at all as intuitive. I struggled a bit with this game. Yeah, it's, like, I don't want to make it sound like I dislike it, because I don't. Like, this is exactly the kind of game that I love. It's just very obtuse. And I can handle obtuse for the most part, like I was talking about with Tormented Souls before. I don't mind puzzles that force you to think. And I don't mind just sticking with it till I get it. It's more so just how unnecessary they made all of the differences with the controls and UI. Like, you know what this game feels like? It feels like you copied somebody else's homework and you changed the, you changed everything around to make it feel like it was not the same thing. Because here's the thing. When you take a look at this menu here, it feels like Resident Evil 1.5. Like, in a sense, right? Because when you come to the menu, there's no way to tell what your health status is. Initially, I thought that maybe the little color behind Regina's head was indicative of her health, but it never changes color, so that's not the case. You literally can't tell outside of just looking at her mannerisms. Like, you know you're dying when you're limping, which is like, yeah, gee, thanks, but I kind of need to know what degree of injured I am before I decide I want to waste a med pack. But they don't tell you that. In Resident Evil, even in the first game, right? So realistically, RE1 should have been messier in terms of, it should have been messier in terms of UI. But they kind of got it right the first time, right? You have the different tabs for your files, the map, and then your inventory. And in your inventory, you get to see pictures of what everything looks like, so you can very quickly tab over to what you want and use it, so you're in and out of your item screen. This game does no such thing. You have to come in here and then click again to go into item, and then they separate it by supplies and items, right? And so, for example, if I want to use my guns or change my weapon in Resident Evil, it's right there with the rest of your stuff. But here, you have to go to a whole separate tab, equip. And then in order to equip, you can't even just click the gun and put equip like you can in Resident Evil. You have to come down to this weapon list, click the one you want, and then manually load the ammunition, which is ridiculous. And then you have a separate tab for the map, which of course they decided let's not label the map, so you don't know what any of the rooms are. And then a separate screen to mix stuff instead of just having a combine button like in Resident Evil. It's also needlessly complicated. It honestly sucks. I hate the UI in this game. It is not good. Good old retro game charm. That's the thing. I do find this kind of stuff charming. It's just weird because this game came out in 1999, but so did Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 3 has none of these issues. So that's the weird part. And it's the same, you know, same company, obviously. For those that don't know, Dino Crisis was directed by Shinji Mikami, the same man that created Resident Evil. So it's not like he didn't know this. It was very weird. I envy your ability to stick with it. Yeah, I think that's just my stubborn nature. I don't like giving up on things. Maybe you just thought it was time to get fucky with it. I mean, maybe. I kind of feel like... Because if you ever, like, you ever look at the mindset that a lot of, artists or creators have at times with certain things, there's like an attitude of doing things in a weird way just to differentiate it from your other works, which as a writer, I kind of understand to a degree, but like for instance in writing, the way that this kind of surfaces is like, sometimes a writer will be paranoid about their style being too samey. So if that same writer decides to write, you know, say a horror book, and then they're gonna write a police drama book, they'll like go out of their way to try to make the voice sound different, and then you end up with a main character in the other book that's like very almost cartoonishly written just to make the voice sound different. It's like an overcorrection, right? And I kind of feel like that's what they did here. Like, they didn't want the direct comparisons to Resident Evil, despite the fact that it's clearly Resident Evil with dinosaurs. So they decided to forego the pre-rendered backgrounds, create a whole different user interface that is just not good, because at least it would be different. And it's kind of funny because then in Dino Crisis 2, Dino Crisis 2 uses pre-rendered backgrounds, so it looks even more like Resident Evil. That's a good thing. Thank you. Alright, corpses. Gotta find a dead body. Alright, none in here. And Sally said first floor, right? So if it's not here... What about this guy? In the safe room. Could it be you? There it is. Guess I probably should have started with that guy instead of the dismembered corpse, right? Can you believe I liked the first one more than the second? I mean, I can definitely see why that would be the case from a thematic perspective, because I know the second one gets a lot more action-packed. Like, it's pretty much mercenaries with a story, right? Because you have, like, the bonuses and all the other kinds of things you can get from particularly stylish kills and such. So I can definitely understand, because I would prefer, like, if they remade Dino Crisis, I would want them to stick with the more RE style, rather than go full-blown action. Like, it should definitely have that action nature to it, because, I don't know, I just feel like you can't make a whole genuine survival horror game just with dinosaurs. I mean, maybe you could, but I feel like it wouldn't be as scary. But yeah, I don't necessarily think I'd want them to take the whole mercenary style approach again, if they ever did remake it, so I get it. When I started farming points to buy stuff, I lost all hype for it. Yeah, because it does something to the gameplay that kind of takes you out of it. And you're less focused on, like, the inventory management and the backtracking and stuff, and it just kind of becomes, like, too arcadey. Which is fine for something that is already of that nature, but to go from more of a standard survival horror type game to that in the sequel, it's kind of jarring. Alright, now we need to get back to that, machine. Alright, come on. Thank you. Alright, let me look at the code again, because they're going to make me put it in again. 58104. One oh four. Does not match the personnel. What? Wait a minute. What? Did I take the wrong guy's fingerprint? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh no, that is cumbersome. Yeah. Ay, ay. Well, let's go find more corpses, I guess. That's why I told you this one destroyed me. Yeah, I can see why. Am I crazy, or did I hear a soundbite exactly the same as the healing noise from Fable 1? Oh, something that's similar. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never played the first Fable. I only played Fable 2. But it's funny because a lot of these games back then, would take sound effects sometimes, or music from, like these sample discs. You would also get textures from them as well. That's why you'll sometimes hear, similar death screams from, bad guys in a lot of older shooting games. It's kind of funny. God, get away from me. Wilhelm Scream Syndrome, yeah. It's always fun when you recognize a sound effect in a game from another. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, they used to use a lot of those back then. There was, it was like the Leonardo pointing gif. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a perfect, perfect encapsulation of it. Because a lot of those devs used to use these handy little discs. And they would have, like I said, they would have textures on them. And like music samples and such. They're outdated now, of course, but a lot of people found that, you know, very handy. Hearing the bear noise from WoW come out of Agravius, the giant stone dragon, utterly shattered my immersion for a second. Yeah, that is kind of funny. Okay, where am I gonna find more dead bodies? I think there was some out here, right? This still counts as a first floor. So let's head out here. Yeah, this is all still part of the first floor of the facility, so let's go try and find this corpse. I'll try this guy that was also ripped in half. Right here. Does he not have... Alright, well, he doesn't have arms. Would there happen to be another one over here, or is that just the guy's lower half? Alright, so I guess it's not over here. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a science to getting a perfect puzzle in a game that feels fair and not too easy without having to resort to this kind of stuff. Because at a certain point, it's not even... I don't say it's not fun, but it's just a lot of figuring out what the game exactly wants precisely. A little tedious, yeah. Because, like, I don't mind the backtracking. I actually find backtracking in horror games very cozy. I don't know, something about that, routine and, like, really getting to intimately know a location instead of just blowing through everything in the way that a lot of modern games treat stuff, is very nice. So I don't mind that. But a lot of times these games, they don't tell you anything. You're just left to figure stuff out, and it's not like figuring out the solution yourself, right? Like, that's fine. It's figuring out the ins and outs of the mechanics, because they won't tell you specifically how they want you to do things. And that I don't appreciate. I remember the first Silent Hill having quite a lot of backtracking, but it didn't feel annoying. Yeah, some games know how to do it just right. I wouldn't mind all that if I had enough tranquilizers or ammo for the raptors. Yeah, they give you nothing. And the tranquilizers, they don't even last. It's really honestly not even worth it. They're essentially the equivalent of, they're the equivalent of shocking them with the lasers. So it's kind of worthless. If even that, some of them need more than one dart to take them down. So it becomes even more of a waste. Can't imagine what the playtesters for this game might have said. It was a different era. To be honest. Is there any corpse in here? I don't think so. But I'll check anyway. Nope. I do loathe modern playtesters, though. Because, for example, Capcom said that after Resident Evil 7, playtesters were telling them essentially that, the game was too scary, and that's one of the reasons why they've been trying to figure out how to tone it down. And it's like, it's a horror game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's one of those things that horror often gets saddled with that other genres don't have to deal with. I've complained about this before on stream, but it really bugs me, right? Like, I'm a horror addict, right? So I know I'm desensitized and things that scare other people don't scare me, but like, the whole idea of experiencing horror is to get that safe rush, right? Like, there's more to it than that, but I'm just saying, like, for the most part, you are experiencing a safe version of fear in the same way that you would getting on a roller coaster, right? For that adrenaline rush. That is obviously much safer than hopping in a car and going 120 miles per hour, right? So to complain about it being too scary is insane to me. It would be like a dating sim having too much flirting. I would argue, like, it's more so like going to a romance movie and then complaining that there's too much romance going on, right? Like, kind of akin to what you're saying, but like, I can understand why somebody would complain about, like, the dialogue of the flirting or whatever. But like, it's like if you watch a Hallmark Channel movie and you're complaining that it's too cute and saturine, like, that's kind of the point. That's what you're there for. If you don't want to see that, then you don't have to indulge. And there's different flavors of horror, obviously, but like, you know, cutting back on the scares in a horror game or film or whatever is just kind of crazy to me, especially when they replace it with something else. Like in the case of video games, a lot of action, because then it's like, then why am I here? Why wouldn't I just go play Call of Duty or some other game that's, you know, perfectly attuned to this? If I'm too scared to move in a horror game, it's doing its job successfully. Exactly. I'm mad, I'm mad, I'm mad. What happened, Purple? What's the guy at the computer doing? Don't think I was here for most of the other stream. I don't even know. That's the same guy that went to go help try to save the one survivor and then the guy died anyway. I think he's working the cameras or something. Killed off someone in my show at the beginning of season 5. What show are you watching? Listen, just because I was too scared to play Subnautica doesn't mean it needed less abyssal crimes against nature. Yeah. I'd like to see those testers playing Fatal Frame 2 then. They probably wouldn't. It's like, that's the other thing too. Who are you selecting for this, right? Because you would need, in my opinion, to have a successful playtest, a good smattering of people who are into horror and into, like, say, whatever franchise it is, if it is a franchise and not a new IP. And then more quote-unquote normies, so you can get a good idea of both, rather than just all normies who are going to complain about something that's scary because they may not typically indulge in horror. I mean, I don't know how they select their body of people. Have you played Soma? It's one of my favorite horror games. No, I haven't. I've heard nothing but good things about it, though. But I have not played it yet. Rizzoli in... I forget how to pronounce that name, but I have not heard of that show. Is it like a Netflix show? They should try to find more ways to convince people to play scarier games, not to make horror games less scary. Exactly. Yeah. Like... it's one of those things that's tough because I know that they are, I know that they are a business first. And of course they want sales, and of course something that is not going to ward off people for being too frightening is going to make more money. But what's the point of genres then? You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I hate, because other genres don't have to compromise in this way. You don't really see comedy movies having to tone down the jokes because they're too funny. Right? Yes, you have to change things in other ways, but like, people want to go to see a comedy movie or play a game that has comedic elements in it, like The Secret of Monkey Island. They want to laugh. So they're going to, you know, want to laugh more and more and more, so you're going to try to fix those things to make sure it's as funny as it can be. But horror, on the other hand, always has to tone it down. And I find that very annoying. Horror doesn't always have to be scary. Some of the best horror movies, games, or whatever are things that are not particularly meant to be scary, but they have that, like, vibe in that setting, right? And to me, it doesn't destroy my enjoyment of something if it's not overtly frightening, but it shouldn't have to tone down the scares just to appeal to people who don't even indulge in this genre to begin with. By the way, Adrian, is there supposed to be an animation with the head pads? Yes and no. So, with the program I'm using right now, unfortunately, I can't do anything with it. I did set up an animation in Vignon, but as I told you in your stream the other day, every time I try to load in my model in Vignon, my eyes roll to the back of my head, and it looks insane. So I'm stuck using this for now, and there's no animations to go with it. But speaking of which, thank you, Naka, for the head pats. Alright, sorry about the about the detour with the yapping. Let me get back to being on Corpse Watch. So we know it's not in any of the rooms over here. Let's check around out here. Right, Vignon is possessed, yeah. Maybe one time I'll load it up on stream so all of you can see what I see. Yeah, break from the endless search for fingers, yeah. I'm not even mad about it, to be honest. Like, this hunt is kind of killing my enjoyment just a little bit. Not enough to stop playing the game, I just can't wait till this part is over, honestly. Special edition horror stream with the cursed model. Yeah, it shakes too. It's kind of looks like I'm being electrocuted or something. And the person that made my model couldn't figure out what was going on either, which is not encouraging. Neither of us can figure out what to do, unfortunately. Don't nerf the art. Be stronger and face the horror game instead of complaining. Face your fears. Yeah, that's what I wish people would do. And if you can't play the game and you stop, I mean, that's fine. Right? You have to finish every single game that you buy or whatever. But, I don't know, ruining other people's enjoyment of a specific genre just because it's not for you is very annoying. Like I said, I would not complain about a romance movie being too cute and saturine. Like, that's kind of the point. You don't have to like the execution, but, like, you're mad at too many kissing scenes, or you're mad at too many people holding hands or whatever. It's like, that. Where do you think you are exactly? Oh my god. Thank you for the 10 push-ups. I'll get to that in just a moment. It being an art is another reason not to turn down the scare factor. Yeah, exactly. Because then you start compromising everything, and it's like... Again... I've been wanting to kind of go into this, this little diatribe here, I guess. But I've been a little bit reluctant, because I don't want to go full-blown yap session and completely drown out whatever game I'm playing. But I guess I'll dive into it a little bit. But one of the reasons why I love horror so much is because it's honest, right? Like, this might sound kind of crazy, but hear me out. There's merits to every single genre of media, right? But horror, in my opinion, is the one that is the most honest and true. Like, it's not afraid to display things for what they are. And when you watch a horror movie or you play a horror game, you know that you're not going to get any sort of sugarcoating on violence or, you know, sex or any of this other stuff. And the reason why I think that that's a good thing is not because other genres are lesser for not having all of these things on display, but rather because I find a kind of comfort in the fact that it holds up a mirror to reality, in a sense, right? And I'm not saying it's always accurate, because a lot of movies, like horror movies, are obviously very over the top. But even when they are over the top, they have a way of showing things that other genres will kind of bend and twist to be a little bit more palatable, whereas horror is not afraid to show certain things for what they are right in your face. So even if we're not talking about, say, Jason from Friday the 13th ripping somebody in half, in a horror film, you're more likely to see real depictions of a relationship. Like, you're going to see people arguing and, you know, not necessarily being as happy as they would be in a movie where they'd be reluctant to show how a real argument would be. You're more likely to see what bullying really looks like. You're more likely to see what a troubled home life really looks like. And you can see all of these things in, say, drama films. But horror, I think, already sets people up in the mindset that if you're walking into a movie theater or you're putting a game in your console where you understand you're going to see human beings ripped apart, then you're kind of signing a silent contract to where you understand that if you're willing to sign up to view that, then they don't have to hold back in showing other things. Whereas even in, say, a drama film, even if it's rated R, may be reluctant to show certain things because, you know, at the end of the day, you're not necessarily agreeing to see a graphic film, right? But horror, not all the time, but horror is typically inherently graphic, which means that you can kind of loosen the reins on how you display other things beyond, you know, the jump scares or somebody getting killed in a violent way. I think Hereditary is very good at that. Yes, Hereditary is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, right? I'm scared of the graphic stuff, just kidding. Yeah, but that's what I mean, like, it's just, I don't know, horror for me, I think probably because I've lived a very specific life. I've talked a little bit about my experiences with the unexplained at a very young age, as well as other stuff that's happened to me in my life. I've never been far off from scary things or I guess some macabre and just generally just dark shit is the best way I can put it, happening in my life. I'm usually never far off from it. And well, I think that would probably push most people away. There's kind of a comfort in getting closer to it, right? Like you face your fears by bringing them closer to you, right? And horror is a great way of continuously acknowledging certain things that we as human beings are too afraid to acknowledge on a daily basis, things like our own mortality. You can kind of develop a certain power over these fears that you might have by exposing yourself to it more often, more frequently. I think that's also the reason why, for example, why in horror films we have people being killed in horrible ways constantly, and it doesn't affect people as much as watching a movie like Bridge to Terabithia. If anybody's ever seen that movie, which is also based on a book, I believe, where I'll just say there is a character death in that film that stuck with a lot of people because of the way it was done, and it's supposed to be like a family-friendly movie. And I bring that up just to say, I think there's a sort of power that you can feel when you're experiencing horror that, despite the, you know, terror that you might feel or what's being depicted on screen, you're not afraid of it and you're not repelled by it, right? Which is something that I think people who, even though there's less people who hold this opinion than, you know, way back when, but you still get some people that judge people that enjoy horror for being like weird because, oh, you enjoy stuff that's you know, violent and graphic and everything else. But I don't think that those people understand that, again, there's a sort of power over it that you attain by bringing yourself closer to that, right? And that's also why people who are horror junkies are more bothered by scenes in you know, other media that aren't scary when people die in tragic ways or something happens to a beloved character or something. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing it any justice with the way I'm explaining it. I do think Emerald's right that it would probably be better positioned as a YouTube video, so I could have the time to write out my thoughts and kind of express what I'm feeling rather than off the cuff like this. But long story short is, I've always found a certain comfort in horror, both because it relates a lot to different things in my life and experiences that I've had, both in the practical and the, we'll say, the paranormal experiences I've had. But even aside from that, there's just something empowering and addicting and fun about constantly putting yourself closer to the things that most people would shy away from, and knowing that the artists who put together these works of, you know, twisted art are not afraid to go places that you would never see even in the most rugged thriller or drama. You're not going to get the same effect, I feel, as you would in horror, just because of how honest it's allowed to be, right? Like, I'll give one example for anybody in the chat who are fans of Junji Ito. If you've ever read Tomi or Uzumaki, those manga are a perfect example of what I mean. Depictions of obsession, right? How far irrationality can drive people down a rabbit hole that they can't come up from, or obsession with, you know, a specific person, like what Tomi represents, right? Rather than just like the character herself, what she represents is so effective if you kind of understand what he's getting at with that character. And you can't really display that or have it be as understood on a primal level in any other genre than horror. Let me catch up on the chat a little bit. I've been yapping up a storm. I think there are two ways people who have experienced a certain type of life, they either don't want anything to do with it, or they go the other way and they seem to, I guess, find comfort in dark and scary things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get it, Sushi. And I find myself in the latter group. It definitely drew me closer to it. Horror takes a safety filter off, which can be more comforting than a story that tells you everything is always fine when that's not how life goes. Yeah, exactly. Right? Exactly. And that's the thing too. I don't even hate things that are like really saturine. Like, I'm a big Christmas fan. I love Christmas movies. Christmas movies are usually incredibly saturine. And that doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people hate them. I don't hate them. But you can appreciate those sorts of things even more because, I don't know, I guess we kind of end up with brains that perceive things in the opposite, right? Because you have some people who look at horror as like ridiculous and like they can't take it seriously because they think that it's too over the top. Whereas I feel like, am I the only one that turns on the news every day and sees how horrible things are on a daily basis? Like, horror is closer to reality than any of these other things, right? I can appreciate things that are more like happy or just overly saturine because to me, I know that that's stuff that never happens in reality, so I can turn my brain off and enjoy it and have fun with it. Whereas when I watch a horror movie, it feels weirdly comforting to see that, like you said, it's like the gloves come off and it feels like it could be over the top, could even be funny, something like Evil Dead 2 where it's comedic and scary at the same time, but it's comforting in how real it is. Junji Ito is a fever dream? Yeah. Yeah, he's a genius. I think there's a type, or a lot of censorship of that type of stuff nowadays, because it's uncomfortable, so it's inherently seen as bad or immoral. Yes, unfortunately. Because I think a lot of people are unable to divorce the... How would I say? They're unable to divorce the author's intent from what they're seeing. So a lot of people will automatically think that just because, say, in a horror movie, that a person, you know, ends up killed or whatever, that must be like, whoever the type of person is that's being killed must be something that the author is trying to like comment on, when that's not the case. And horror has unfortunately always been a target for misinterpretation and weaponization of censorship, especially by religious groups and such, because people who enjoy horror or dark things in general are always mislabeled as Satanists or whatever. So, yeah. And yeah, like you said, immorality, right? Because you must obviously be a killer in the making if you enjoy watching Scream. Or, you know, you must be sick in the head if you enjoy watching stuff like Saw or something like that. Yeah, that's always kind of been like the standard opinion from people who dislike horror. Although, like I said, I think that's lessened a lot lately. Especially when you have movies like Terrifier doing major numbers in theaters. But it still is definitely a thing. I've met those people. So yeah, they definitely do still exist. My weekly planner is officially licensed Tomy merch. That is awesome, Emerald. That is so cool. I would love to see that. Love Junji Ito, yes. Most of the people watch or play horror because they want to feel scared. I do it because I like to consume unbiased media. I, for one, am delighted that they brought back the unhinged death sequences in Requiem. Yes, same here. Yes. I enjoyed that a lot because, again, it just felt... it makes you feel more for the characters, right? I mean, that's probably the easiest way to put it. And it feels very honest. Like you're seeing a real depiction of what this would be like. And again, no matter how violent a death in a video game is, it's never as disturbing as, you know, the things that happen to real people. I think that's one reason why, I think there's a reason why people are fascinated with movies like Final Destination, for example. Because it scares people, like that Final Destination and what it's predicated upon, like the freak accidents and such, is far scarier than any kind of monster could ever be. Because stuff like that really happens. Right? And yeah, it makes the characters feel vulnerable. And I think there's like a weird kind of disturbed fascination that people have with kind of experiencing this in a safe way. Right? Like getting to satisfy that odd curiosity that some people have with the concept of mortality. And that's like one reason why I think horror is also very important. Because especially, I'll say in the US, there's this puritanism that prevents people from being able to safely explore concepts that we as human beings would naturally be curious about because they're a part of us. Everybody dies, right? We're all going to die someday. And so people who have an interest in understanding that process and trying to understand or, you know, explore it in a way that doesn't involve, you know, obviously being around real dead bodies or anything like that. I think they kind of naturally gravitate to horror because they're interested in that part of the human experience, right? And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with anybody. It's just natural because we are, again, it's a part of us. We all have that innate, I don't want to say fear because I know some people aren't really afraid of death, or at least so they say. But everybody has that fascination with it because it's our end destination for everybody. And I think some people have a sort of a way of wanting to safely explore those ideas without having to do anything that would make them feel uncomfortable, right? And horror is a comfortable and safe way to explore those ideas. Let's see. I'm scared when the monster starts chasing me to a job application at Walmart. There is a game called Night of the Consumers that I think would probably be up your alley, Naka. Real Final Destination fed into my anxiety so bad, but it's also made me appreciate the people I have around me more. Because a piano could fall on their head tomorrow. Exactly, yeah. We could all be in line to befall a fate akin to a Looney Tunes character, yes. That reminded me that my friend, same one who you got recommended, has been watching me playing Majora's Mask, and he's surprised a Nintendo game could be fully about death and how to deal with both suffering it yourself and suffering loved ones passing. Yeah, I think a lot of people, I'll say this and then I'll finally do those push-ups and we'll continue, because I apologize for the long-winded aside. But I think a lot of people mischaracterize Nintendo as being this Disney-like company or whatever. Obviously, they do make more family-friendly games than Microsoft or Sony, and even a lot of other third-party developers. But Nintendo has always been pretty upfront about some pretty serious subject matters in their games. It's just people choose not to look at it, or they only play like Mario games. But, trying Trying to think, the Splatoon games are actually post-apocalyptic, and they're pretty upfront about that. The latest Pokemon game, Pokopia, is post-apocalyptic. And that's not a spoiler. I haven't played it. It's just they tell you this. You can see it in the trailers. Let me think. There's a game I want to play that's on the Nintendo Switch Online. It's actually something I have in line for a stream. But Chibi Robo is a very cute little game where you're playing as like this little helper robot. But really, the story is kind of depicting like a family that's kind of falling apart. And you're kind of doing everything you can to prevent that. Pikmin is another post-apocalyptic series with a heavy theme of environmentalism. Yeah, see, we're thinking the same thing at the same time, Sally. Like you brought up with Majora's Mask, the Zelda games always deal with a lot of different heavy subject materials. Yeah, Nintendo's really no stranger to dealing with heavy themes and topics in their games. I think a lot of people just mischaracterize them because they only pay attention to Mario. That and Sega's hit job on their reputation back in the 90s has been very, very persistent, no matter how far away we get from it. Ocarina of Time is also quite dark at times. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you look at like just the concept of it alone, that you have this kid who gets pulled into having to quite literally grow up before his time to face everything that's happening. And that's not even getting into all of the side quests and the little different details throughout the plot. Yeah, every sage in Ocarina literally dies, yes. Then, of course, there's the ending, just with Navi. All sorts of things you could get into with Ocarina of Time. Even the game that everybody, got all upset about back in 2003, The Wind Waker, where people mischaracterized it. The Wind Waker is actually one of the most mature games you can ever play. Not in terms of violence or anything, but from a story perspective and how maturely it looks at a lot of topics and how it holds its villains. Yeah, it's actually a very mature game despite the cartoony art style. Gets hit by a truck because you dropped a coin at the wrong time? Yeah. Don't apologize. Love hearing your take on the subject. I wanted to talk to you more about it, but we kept getting shot at. I'm glad you enjoy the yapping, Sushi. Yeah, I could talk about horror forever, but this turned into a just chatting stream, and anybody who's tuning in right now to watch me play Dino Crisis has been staring at a wall for a while, and I do apologize greatly for that. Wind Waker has the best Ganondorf for me. Oh yeah. Seeing him wax poetic about his mistakes while not realizing he's arrogantly committing them again and believing that he has the right to try to quote-unquote make amends and whatnot, like it's such a good game. And yes, that's probably the best that Ganondorf has ever been written, I think. He's such a good character in that game. Thank you for the head pats, Naka. Alright, I'm gonna do those push-ups now, and the sit-ups, and then I will return to the game. 1 second, everybody. Okay, I am back. Alright, let's continue corpse hunting. I will still yap as I do so. The best that I can, without getting distracted by these guys. Thank you. Yeah, I think, like, horror is also a good venue for making things clear to people who... I'm not gonna say it's always because they don't understand just looking at certain subjects normally, but I think there's a reason why you have great movies like Get Out and The Substance that explore subjects like racism and the misogynistic experience that women face every day in their lives. Horror works as such an effective vehicle for depicting the kind of fear and uncomfortable experience that many people live on a daily basis, but using certain imagery and such to show it off to help people who could never wrap their heads around the idea of it because, you know, either they cannot relate to the experience or they have a different kind of fear or trauma in their lives. Kind of helps to put it a little bit in perspective. Very effective. Alright, there's no dead body in here, right? I'm 2 seconds from just asking somebody to tell me where this dead body is. Ouch. Trying to think of where I saw more corpses. I only really recall the one in the safe room, that guy right there, and then the one that was outside. But none of them have been it. Hope it's not randomized, because that would really suck. That was something I hated about White Day. I think I mentioned this before, but White Day actually has a sequel, and I am thinking real hard about it. It's not randomized? Okay. No weird character telling you to subtract the sign. Thank God. I still have, I'm still having war flashbacks about that one. White Day 2, The Revenge of the Silver. I've never seen any gameplay from it. I should probably look that up, but I'm like... just the idea of it is, not very appealing to me right now. What I would really like to play... please get away from me. What I'd really like to play right now is, Fatal Frame 2. I hate these guys so much. Oh, I really hate them. I've been playing it, you're gonna love it. That is exciting. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's make more... More med packs if I can. And another dart. I also want to play, have any of you ever heard of the Dreadout games? They're kind of like Fatal Frame. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're Indonesian. And they look really interesting. They're both on Switch. So I've been thinking about that too. Okay. Let me look at the annotated map. Never heard of that, never checked it out though. Yeah, it's to my knowledge, it kind of looks a little bit like Fatal Frame, except I think you use like a smartphone camera instead of the camera obscura. Waiting for one RE1-like game to get released. I'm gonna check out the name. There's one that was released in early access that I want to play, but I don't know if my PC would like it very much. It's called Echoes of the Living. Kind of looks a lot like the RE1 remake. I do want to play that. I don't know if you know the guy. I assume you probably watch a ton of Resident Evil videos on YouTube like I do. But there's a content creator named Ink Ribbon, and that guy plays the male protagonist in the game. There's another one too I've been thinking about getting to play on stream. It kind of looks a little bit like that game Elisa. And that's another game I should also play. There's a lot of stuff. Too many games. One game I also want to play. Has anyone ever played the Urban Myth Dissolution Center? I think that's what it's called. I've heard really good things about it. It was on like a ton of Japanese game developers' Game of the Year list. And it has a really cool art style. So I was thinking about checking that out too. You like World of Horror 2? Yes. Yeah, it looks amazing. I watched another streamer play some of it. I'd like to play it as well. Phase Zero, Hollow Body, Liminal Point. Those are the 3 horror games I have on wishlist. Yes, I've heard of Phase Zero. And I think maybe Liminal Point? I'll have to look them up. Oh, you played it? What'd you think of it, Emerald? Because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I've not seen really anything except screenshots. I saw from a certain gemstone. Well, let me fix my model. It's kind of malfunctioning. Okay, hopefully it's better now. I was trying to stream Urban Myth Dissolution Center, but ended up stopping midway, so I'm trying to play it on my own now. Well, I love it, but that's because it's basically my lord. Really? Oh, that's cool. That's funny. Was that intentional, or was it just a coincidence? It's not really horror, but it does include a bunch of real Japanese urban legends and such. Yeah, that's right up my alley. Yeah, I'd definitely like to check it out then. What room in here have I not looked at? Guess the generator rooms? I don't know. Guess I could give it a look. Coincidence? Okay. I can believe that, because funnily enough, despite the fact that I know so many other witch VTubers and have collabed with many of them, I've not gone out of my way to do that. That's all been a complete coincidence as well. It's kind of funny how things have a way of working out. Yeah, I have not intentionally thought out other witch VTubers. It just kind of keeps happening. I legit thought you were collecting them. No, that is a complete coincidence. Alright, you know what? I'm not even gonna play with this guy. We're gonna just dart him. Put him to sleep. Take a nap. Like you're forming a witch coven, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. In fact, actually, I'm sure you know how, like, VTubers will, form little groups and stuff like that. I have not officially done that with anybody, but sometimes when you look at, like, say, the HoloLive, streamers, sometimes they come up with little, like, almost like tag team names, right? Like in pro wrestling for, like, subsets of their groups. And I know the last time that I played Super Battle Golf with Callisto and Madi, who are also both witches, they were kind of referring to us as like a coven. So that is pretty funny that you mentioned that, because I feel like that's our unofficial name when we do collabs. New wizard unlocked. Alright, our health is back to normal. And let me try these rooms here, because I think these are the only places I haven't looked. Okay, obviously not in here. I'll try the generator room. You want me to give you a tip? Yes, please, Sally. Please. I would appreciate it. I feel like I wasted everybody's time enough with my, my relentless yapping, so, it's probably about time we made some progress, right? You're going to need to elevate your game. I think I know what you mean. Thank you for the headpats, Naka. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. We are here for you, not the game, so don't think you're wasting anyone's time. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, he's still sleeping. That's a first. Seconded, thank you, Emerald. I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you. Alright, let me think. How do I get there? Actually, I think we can get there from the basement. And then back up. Thirded, thank you, Naka. And sushi. Alright, let's head to the hallway with the... Okay. He immediately got shocked. Yeah, through here into the basement. That should take us to the elevator. I should use the hemostat. I'm still bleeding. Not necessary to use it. Then why am I leaving little blood pools behind? I'd like the game to explain that one. Alright, now we have the disgusting tiny dinosaurs here. They're like little parasites. Alright, there should be a path through here to that elevator. Just go to sleep. We're not gonna do this. Did I go in that room already? Yes, okay. Yes, we did. Oh my god, I could have just went through here. I forgot about the shortcut, because nothing is labeled. We're wasting so much that I could have been saving if the map actually worked as a map. Dead man has a memo. Will you read the memo? Did we see this already? Yeah. Yeah, we did. That guy doesn't have any arms left, so it's not him. That just loops around. Alright, through the shipping container area should be our path to the elevator. Large size elevator, here we are. Please let it be up here. Thank you for the head pats, Naka. I wish that my model could actually depict it. Wait, so that... Have a great stream. I'm about to head home. Thank you for dropping by, Sushi. I really, really appreciate it. And, please, be safe heading home, okay? And, you know, when you get back, make sure you get something to eat and rest and everything. So there was nothing there at the elevator. So am I missing something? Elevator power room, maybe in here? Did I push this already? Yes, I did. Okay, so we're in the elevator power room. I don't see any corpses. And I checked the large elevator. There was no dead bodies there either. So now I am officially confused. Some of these hallways are just cursed. I was hoping we were gonna make... Remember, it's on the first floor? Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping that, I was hoping this would count, but I guess this is, facility outdoors. Yeah, I think that this is still on that level, but I suppose not. Where does this go? Well, if the answer is a spoiler on Discord, I'll be right back. Okay, thank you. Alright, there's just a giant hole here. Real helpful. Alright, let me take a look at that hint. It's in the elevator hall, huh? Let's see. Where is that? Because I can't see on my map, so I have to look at this annotated one. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. But how am I supposed to get in there? Alright, now I am really confused. Alright, we have to go all the way back. Because I know where this room is. But it keeps telling me that I don't have the appropriate card or whatever to open the door. But we'll see. So there should be another way in through the... from the office, right? Ay, ay. Alright, slowly but surely, let's make our way back upstairs. Check this out, because it's supposed to be in the elevator hall. Which is below the main entrance. Alright, out through here. Right, and now it should be... Let's take a look at the map. Yeah. Both of those doors are locked. Okay, not that one. It's supposed to be in here. But every time I try to use... Cannot be used here. The DDK that contains the correct information is required to release the lock. Will you set it? To release the lock, it is necessary to set both the code and input DDK devices. Yeah, I can't open that. There's supposed to be a second way in, though. From the office. So... let's try that door. Yeah, through here. Then out this way, and then it says... there's supposed to be a door. But I assume it's gotta be locked from in here, too. Yeah, there's a red door somewhere in here. So we came out through the office. Where the heck is the door? Yeah, it's locked from the other side. It's like every single time that we find where we're supposed to go, that path turns out to be locked behind 1,000 other things that we don't have. And it's honestly starting to get a little annoying. It's like 15 different keys for each door. Just walk into it. Thank you. So we're missing the disk device or whatever. Welcome back, Sally. So, now I know why I couldn't find it, because that door is locked and it doesn't let me open it. And I'm missing the device or whatever to open it, and I'm not sure where to find that. Here, I'll show you. Right here. This is the door. But when I try to open it, it says a DDK device. The symbol N is inscribed. The DDK that contains the correct information is required to release the lock. Will you set the DDK? And I say yes. To release the lock, it is necessary to set both the code and input DDK devices. So I can't do anything with it. I have the input device here. Do you have any of the two DDK? I have the one right here that says N, but I don't have the other part of it or whatever. Then you lack the code then. Now, how do I find that? I feel like we've been everywhere. I can check the basement again. It's outside? Okay. Outside the elevator hall door. But not, like, still in the building, right? Because the elevator hall door... Yeah, the elevator hall only leads to your left. Outside the building. Okay, because I can't open this either. Wait a minute, why did that work? I just tried to open that door before and it... Okay, whatever. It didn't let me open it. Yeah, I am so confused right now. I tried that door several times. Oh my god. Welcome to Dino Crisis, yeah. The booth to regulate the entrance. No one appears to be inside. Yes, I will take that. Buckshot loads. Disperse to hit a wider target area. SG bullets. Yes, I will happily take that. Oh my goodness. Will you read the file? Yes. Personnel changes of researchers. Old. Section. Special Aircraft Experiment Room. New. Section. 3rd Entry Physics Laboratory. Registration number 57036. Name Mark Doyle. It's locked. The sign says heliport ahead. Also, the chests you open have items inside there, not just for storing. Okay, that's what I was curious about. I thought that they were just, essentially storage chests that you had to use a consumable for. So if there's actual goodies inside, I will go open that green one. After I get the freaking fingerprint. Please use the stupid device already. Okay, password. Alright, so we cut out A, B, D, F, G, H, right? E. New. Wait, whoops. It's newcomer. Oh my goodness, this game can be ridiculously silly. All of that to get 2 components of the key and still have to put in a password. Fucking ridiculous. Two plugs to open it. Use the plug. Emergency box list. So all of these things are what's inside? Oh my god. Intensifier. Oh dear. Thank you, Sally. I didn't even realize it was having an episode. Thank you. Think we're back? Yeah. Yeah, thank you all. I'm so glad I know I keep saying this, but I cannot overstate how much I am glad that I activated those settings, because that would have been an instant multiple part stream for no reason. Okay, alright, we're good. Thank you for telling me about the boxes. Now I actually have some ammo to work with. Let's box is used to check the personnel who use the elevator. Why is it beeping like that? He's wearing white, possibly a researcher. Stop the beeping of the pager. Okay, I see. They just wanted to draw my attention to this guy, so I would think maybe there's something more, right? And we know what more we need. And then having to find the very specific pixel that they want you to, use on him. Also try moving that thing on your left. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you. These things. Yeah, and then we wait for the cartoony freaking block to pop up. Inventory full. There's not enough space to hold the AN aid. Okay, let's use one. Okay, now we can take it, right? Perfect. Thank you for reminding me. Again, it's another thing of this game with the 3D environments, nothing really pops. Save the map data, yes. So I have more map, and none of it, of course, is annotated, because why would it be? The map is awesome as is. Wouldn't change a thing. Now can we finally please do this? What is the code again? 58104. All right, finally. Yes, please rewrite the data. Thank God. Card data may be overwritten when facility personnel changes occur. I have a toad here next to my window, and it's making my mother go crazy trying to sleep while having the asshole croaking in the background. How big is it for it to be that loud? Oh my God. Is it like a, is it like one of those really big bloated ones? Wait, not that. Let's try the elevator. There we go. There's a familiar RE2 laboratory door sounds. Must be like my hand, and I'm 6 foot, so imagine how big my hands are. Oh my God. That is a huge toad. Please get off. Imagine I went that far just to die there. That would really suck. Alright. First time I heard that sound was in Doom 1. Same door opening sound. I forgot about that, you're right. Is he dead? No. Oh. He whips you with his tail even when he's down. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, let's use this. 20 fucking shots to kill one dinosaur. I know, right? To quote Ethan in RE7, do me a favor and stay dead, please. It's a shotgun, imagine the pea shooter. Yeah, 120 bullets to kill one dinosaur. Because why not? Alright. No, I don't want the hemostat, not right now. I need the med pack. Like yesterday. And we're gonna use one of those, yeah, these on it as well. Wait. I forgot I have to go to the mix menu because I hate this menu so much. Yes, please. Now I can use it. Now we'll take the hemostat. There we go. What a nightmare. What does this say? File titled Security Manual Volume 1. Will you read it? Yes. DDK, the electronic lock system of this facility has been updated. A more intricate code system has been introduced. Why not? Why don't we make it harder? And the security level has been improved. You will need to be aware of the following information when entering the password. Number-based key, decoding, part 1. In a case where numbers are written instead of letters in the key field, the numbers could represent the codes for the corresponding characters. Here's an example of a corresponding chart between the letters and the code numbers. A equal 1, B equal 2, C equal 3. So it's kind of like what I was getting confused about in the other puzzle earlier in the game that Emerald helped me solve. You just input the things that correspond to their respective place in the alphabet, right? Makes sense. The map of the B1 floor is shown on the panel. Will you save the map data? Yes, yes I will. And yeah, the map is still not annotated. The upside down puzzle, yeah, that's when I was confused, and my initial speculation about how to solve it is actually now coming to fruition. Right? No, hold on. Yeah. Oh, the key. Got it. The ones you cut out, right? Okay. So now this is a little... I think I see what they want me to do here, but let me just think about this. Okay. Let's see if I'm right here. That one should be fine. Lab. Yeah. Is it really just gonna... Is it really just gonna be laboratory? Oh my god. Alright, so I was right, yeah. So dumb. Great password. I feel like I might be going a little bit too far in here. Because I think the ID we were supposed to also use in the room where the guy was on the computer, right? So I may need to go back and do that. Terminal to manage information in the key chips that are used to open the data storage. You can input the data to a key chip and search the data storage from here. It's like, why is everything in this game so convoluted? That door model is exactly taken from Resident Evil 2. From off screen. From off screen. Alright, so we have quite a few things in here. Completely recover your health. Yes, please just give me this. I also hate that it seems you can't combine med packs. That is weird. Alright. We'll just go with this for now. What is this? Another one of those discs. Filing cabinets. Minute books and files may be stored inside. You got the plug. Okay. Now this is a perfect encapsulation of what I mean when I say that they should have gone with pre-rendered backgrounds. Nothing about this shelf stood out as having anything on it. Like, you can see the items there. But look, now that it took the plug, which was not glinting or showing in any other way, it says nothing useful. Why would you think there would be anything on this if you didn't have survival horror brain and just clicked everything by default? Very bizarre game design. Adding another... Then we have another book right here. Looks like a researcher's journal. Oh god, not again. Okay, I think it fixed itself. Will you read the journal? Yes. March. Third energy. It is a system that can produce infinite energy from the air. Completion of the system will signify the end of one of society's greatest problems. It is true that the system was initially developed for military use, but we took part in the project because there is a silver lining in it for our future. Something is terribly wrong. The military has been giving us excessively favorable treatment for the simple development of a fundamental energy system. I must discover the true purpose of this project before irreparable harm is done. What on earth is that kid planning to do? April. Haven't found any clues in the past month. He is indeed a genius. He seems to have noticed our secret investigation activities. I heard that he established a secret lab on this floor somewhere. The only way to learn of his true intentions will be to find that lab. July. At long last, Mike has found a clue pertaining to the location of the secret laboratory. He said that he hid the clue in our secret place inside the library room. Kirk has been meeting frequently with Colonel Clay, the leader of the project, in the computer room lately. What are they up to? It's like too much information in one room. The door is locked, but there doesn't appear to be any place to set a key. What about this? This computer terminal controls the condition of the experiment room remotely. Something is shown on the display. Lock code 7248. This room alone had a secret plug right on that shelf that does not in any way indicate that you can take it. Some sort of solution to a puzzle for mixing the gas on the wall. A relatively, by this game standards, lengthy note right here. A locked door with no way to open it. And then another passcode to something. Do you think they put enough in one room? And, like you've said before, Emerald, this is definitely a pen and paper game. Like, I'm gonna have to get a notebook out and write all of this down, because it's too much information to just retain, which is fine, and I don't mind doing that. It's just so weird for a game in 1999 when Resident Evil already had this figured out by letting you just collect the notes and reference them anytime you wanted to. Very strange. A big screen where the image from a projector would be shown. Alrighty. Well, I think what I'm gonna do is probably take advantage of the fact that that we are playing on the PS4 emulator, and instead of going all the way back to a specific safe room, I think I'm going to just save it here and probably pause for now. Come back to this another day, because it is going to be 9 o'clock and I am quite hungry. I have not eaten, and I think maybe this dev team was a bunch of sadists. I'm starting to think so. This game is relentless, and it's not even that it's like overtly difficult. It's just everything works against you. The mechanics are just not great. They filled every hallway with like 2 dinosaurs, 2 or 3, and it feels like 7. It takes a billion bullets to kill anything. Each room has like 7 different puzzle solutions. Every door is locked with like 5 keys. And then once you administer the keys, you have to solve a fucking cipher to open the door. It is, yeah, it's something else. But yes, anyway, I am going to probably call it here for now, get something to eat, and try to relax a little bit, because I really didn't get much rest today. I've been up since, I think I've been awake since like 5:30 in the morning or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think I've been up since like 5:30 a.m. And I didn't fall asleep last night until like maybe 3 or something like that. So I've been going at it for a while, and I haven't eaten since maybe 10 a.m. So I should probably go get something to eat and then try to relax a little bit. Well, do take care of yourself. That's not much sleep. Yeah, I haven't been sleeping so well these days. Not that I ever really have, but especially lately. Thank you for the hydrate. And thank you for the head pats. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and start trying to find somebody to raid. Yeah, dude, I'm the only one allowed to have a crappy schedule here. No, you're not. You need to take care of yourself. You need to do a better job of taking care of yourself. I'm the witch here, so, you know. I can take it. You all need to take care of yourselves. I hope that you find rest tonight, then. Thank you so much. Love yourself now. Thank you, Naka. Yes, all of you, please do take care of yourselves as well. I will try my best to get a little bit of rest, if possible, after I get something to eat. Now let's see who we can raid. I think I already know who I'm probably gonna raid, but I'm gonna see who's on. Let me move us over to the chatting screen. Alrighty. Let's see. Rage your bed gamer. I shall do my very best. Alright, let's see. Who all is on? Alright, we have quite a few choices here. But we are going to raid into... Oh wait, no, I think... Is she getting offline? Hold on, let me check. If she's going offline, then I know who we will raid instead. Oh no. Okay, I think she's still going. Okay, perfect. Alright, we're gonna raid into Madi. She is a fellow witch VTuber, and she is playing a game called IT Never Ends. Emerald, you were here when I played that. I believe... Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, Sally was there as well. I think most of you might have been there. Somebody had skipped that stream, I think. But yes, we're going to, we're gonna raid into that. Yes, I remember you were there, Purple. Sally was there. Yeah, somebody was missing. But I'm forgetting who. Somebody was missing from that stream. Not Bolgay, he was there for a bit. It'll come to me. But yeah, she's playing it, and I'm excited to see what she thinks of it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid into her. I'm curious if the dev is there, because he was the one that actually wanted me to play it, and ended up talking with him about it. And I'm curious to see if maybe he poked his head in to see her playing it. So we'll see. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming along today. I'm going to try to have a schedule out tomorrow. We will see. I have a lot of... It's going to be kind of a complicated week for me, offline. So I'm going to try my best to put together a schedule. And we'll see. But yeah, anyway. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening or morning, depending on where you are in the world. And, yeah, be kind to yourselves. Get some rest. Get something to eat. Do everything that you would yell at me to do. And I will try to do my best to do it, too. But yeah. See you next time, everybody. Stay spellbound.